Assign to an icon or a button. Once we have the macro running, we then might like to be able to assign it to a button on screen. So instead of having to go into macros and then running the macro from here, we can have a button on our Excel sheet that will run the macro for us. In the Developer tab, the very first button in the last grouping here is called Button. Clicking on this will turn on the button, and then you come down onto your screen, hold down your mouse and drag to draw the button. Automatically a Assign macro appears, and you can click on the macro that you would like to assign to this button. Pressing the OK button, you will now see a button on screen, and if you click on the text, you can go in and retype over the text that's there. So for example, this might be to input the headings. So now when I click away, the button is formed. So if I delete the headings that I have here already, click in a blank A1 and then run my macro by clicking on the button, you'll see that it automatically runs my heading macro for me. We can also assign a macro to a shortcut. If I go back into macros, select the macro that I've already recorded, there's a button down here called Options. Clicking here on Options allows me to put a shortcut key for this particular macro. So holding down Option, Command and something else. So let's say for example I decide to go with a capital M. So by holding down Shift to get the M, in order to run this macro I would need to hold down Option, Command, Shift and M. So with this done, I press the OK button and it applies that for this particular macro as the shortcut. So now I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to go into a clean sheet and click on A1, and then I'm going to hold down those keys. So Options, Command, Shift and M, and you can see now that it ran the macro for me. So we can assign a macro to a button or to a shortcut key.